Grave Girls. I'm Danielle.
I'm Charlie.
And it's our show. We're going to do our show. So on today's episode, we got How to Make a Song, Part 2.
The second part of 2 parts.
The second part is the second of 2. So How to Make a Song. We are Grave Girls. We make music. I have a recording studio, the Wisdom Productions, that I produce at. You can hear about it in the first version. I guess, what do you think, Charlie? What's one of the biggest parts of making a song?
Well, I would suppose a big part of it would be actually being able to perform in the studio.
Yeah. Treating the studio like it's an instrument itself. As in, if you're running a vocal microphone through a preamp into a system with various bobs, whizzers, bangers, poppers, jammers, in between, all the bells and whistles,
dangle fingers and everything else.
If you've been Danglemogged recently, okay.
Only on the good nights.
Oh no, I love it. You're bad. So, what surprised you about recording in the studio? Was it like the amount of detail, or like because there's a certain sensitivity that I think comes with, especially if you're going with like digital recording, which, you know, we don't need to get into a huge conversation about it, but digital recording is better quality. It is the quality standard.
So, I guess my first experience with it, with the violin, was she was that sensitive.
Yeah.
But
you can hear everything, every minute bow technique thing and all that stuff.
Every little piece. So you have to really be able to nail it down, as you said. It took a little bit getting used to. And the first several times I tried it, I did not like how it sounded. I was like, I could do better than that. That's rough.
So were you searching for the right sound?
I was, yeah.
Part of that's like a tone thing, which tone is subjective. It's up to you. Part of it's like a sound quality thing. Are you capturing what you're supposed to be capturing the appropriate way? And then,
as a violinist, for me, it makes me be like way more accurate.
Yeah, and then the other side of it is playing or performing your parts. I love doing vocals in the studio. I love working with vocalists in the studio because it takes a certain amount of passion to get across, especially like, it depends on the genre. If it's like heavier music, like hardcore, or, you know, like something like metal and stuff like that, the personality that's required, that has to come out and into the studio. It breathes life into the takes. You know, if there is words, or whatever the singing instrument is, whether the singing instrument is a voice or the singing instrument's a violin. You know, it's knowing what moves people and what emotes and what connects, and that's an experience thing. I think a lot of it. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
There's a lot of it's an experience thing. A lot of it's just like, think about it a lot. It's where I'm at with it. It's like, a lot of people come in here and they get super surprised, especially like maybe musicians who are like newer to it. They'll get super surprised because of the amount of work that like is involved in capturing, and the amount of work that it takes to make it sound good on their end. You know, because I'm an expert at making it sound good on this end, honey. You gotta plug in to me and make it right. Make it tight, make it right.
More about that later.
She's still getting Danglemogged over here.
Maybe more of that later too. Anyway, yeah, no. So I reckon.
You're so bad.
I am not. That's not true. No, it's a lot more than you expect. It's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna play my instrument. It turns out it's like, oh no, it's wow. Actually, this is kind of my experience.
Yeah, there's a certain sense and a feel that is like you kind of like become a part of, and also here's a huge one. Timing is everything when you're working with multi-track recording, which is what most people do. Even bands will come in and they'll do live recordings in the studio for the most part and practice timing. I would say a lot of people's biggest like downfall is just like they don't have the timing, because you gotta really take it like seriously. I don't know. I drummed on the desks when I was a kid and got in trouble for it, I guess. Not everybody has that experience. So you gotta know what to look for in your song. No matter what instrument you're playing, you gotta know what to look for and kind of visualize.
Visualize the sounds.
Visualizing is pertinent. Visualizing is kind of everything in a way, because musicians who are good at their job kind of understand this language about it. Whether or not you know all the notes, you understand a kind of way to communicate your stuff. There's a language about that, and you could just be like, me no like the man, machine, man, bad. Or you could articulate. So it's really up to you as a choice as a musician. So that's why I like to say, think about your shit.
I like to articulate.
Well, go ahead and articulate right now.
Well, I don't have my violin with me.
Oh, you mean as a musical voice?
As a musical voice.
Oh. Gosh, that violin sounds terrible.
It's out of tune.
We gotta fix that shit.
It's out of tune. Here, let me try something.
Hey, get away.
Oh, and you know what though? A big part of it, play.
Oh yeah, that's extremely important.
But yeah, just being able to like cut loose and have fun, enjoy the moment, and see what happens as it happens.
Yeah, we talked about being in your head last time, and that's kind of the opposite, which is play, it is that sense of whimsy and like the sense of like, I am creating.
Sometimes it's time to let the silly goose fly.
Yeah, and in the studio we love a happy accident. Happy accidents are often what like makes the take. It just depends.
I think you just got to remember how you did it.
I mean, we could get way more technical.
There's so much technical we could do.
The thing about it is like, also respect the process, I think. Which is, I've always approached music with a certain sense of reverence to what I am creating and trying to emote a piece of something that I like. Just like, I don't know, the recordings I make tend to be like juicy and lush and like thick and huge and like really high fidelity sounding, and without being like too overproduced and that sort of thing is the idea. First of all, like knowing your workflow and instrumentation, knowing how to play, your performance in the studio, and knowing what to look for is so huge, especially when you're like putting out music. That is like the trick, is knowing when to put it down and knowing when to keep working on it and keep pushing, because when it comes to it with producing, there are layers, and there's like a first surface layer, and again, it's like learning your ABCs or something. It's like a first surface layer, and then you can go so much deeper than that. You can get down into, an allegory of, quantum uncertainty and stuff like that, like with your stuff. Like, it just depends on what you want to do, because there's more choices that you can like make than there are like atoms in the universe and stuff. Let's get out there and make a great performance.
Go make some music. You know how to do it now.
Yeah, go make some music. As far as equipment, you can get started really quickly and easily. Just search online for music recording preamp, or like capturing voice or something like that. They even make USB mics, but I would recommend highly going through like even just a small little preamp, which is what we're doing today. We're just going through a little thing today. We're not going through the big rig, the studio rig. It's just kind of like a little smaller setup. Studio B.
Studio B is at the main system's at the house, and the house system's at the studio. It's a fun time.
So it's like,
but
it's good that way.
Well,
because we got our bases covered at either any location we want to with the small unit. We can take it with us and just like do field recordings. That's like, so like another thing is, it comes down to what you're interested in. Like, so with Empress of a Shattered Glass, I was very much interested in developing like organic electronic sounds and like exploring some of the heavier sides of my own psyche. But then with the next Grave Girls, you never know what you're gonna get, and I would recommend.
Let's not tell them too much.
No, I would recommend checking out our live EP that drops on 4/11/26, and that's coming right up. But we have a little live EP dropping. It'll be fun. It's just like some of our classic songs
performed live
for you, and we'll put that up on YouTube as well, so be looking out for that. Bye, Grave Girls.
Bye.
See you.
How funny when you think of it. A mind creates nothing